I mean, it's passable as artwork, isn't it? Don't you think so? No, I do. But when people do these sex tape stuck videos in hotel rooms, it's not really the artwork that you get, is it? Um, let's talk about. Oh. um, let's talk about. If we talk about sex videos, why not? It's edgy. It's current. If it wasn't, it probably will be soon. Um, mm, let's get ahead of the narrative, shall we? um, I had a dream. I really did. It was about, I'll tell you, it was in glorious Technicolor too. It's almost lifelike. And it was about somebody who'd been having a few problems and had to, I think, what was the word? Decant into a hotel room because it was no longer suitable to stay at home um, or in normal residence. And I think I seem to there was one of those desk diaries at the beginning. I think it said Wednesday. So I think um, yeah. And I think what happened was they were sitting in the hotel foyer. Was it the Wednesday? Probably, no, I think it was the Thursday, wasn't it? So they'd had a while to. That's right. Just getting make themselves comfy. Catch up on a bit of sleep like that. As you do. It was a Thursday night. This person was targeted. Oh, hi, I'd love to meet you and spend some time with you in the hotel foyer. Let's talk. You, you look like an interesting person. What's your name? A bit like that, really. I knew from the moment I saw you, I had to talk to you. If you haven't got much on, you think, let's string this all out and see what let's see what they're after. So, what I love about doing tarot readings is in the dream is that people think they're going to get one over on you because they think they're trickster or they are tricksters supreme. And if you give them a nice tarot card reading, they think, oh, and then you should build it up with a bit of a ski jump at the again. Oh God, you're going to get some sort of a bonus, aren't you? I mean, gosh, God, you're obviously working hard at it. Then you build it out and you butter their baps for them, really. The expression might be. And they think, oh, there's this dickhead who's telling me that I'm going to screw him over and I'm going to get paid for it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And wrong. Really, really wrong. Mm. So the first night, till 6 o'clock in the morning. Till 6 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of information was, gleaned by me in the dream. Yeah. I didn't give away much new information that's not readily available on the internet. So, that was that. And there was a weird thing with one of the people who worked here, who I better not give names. Hmm. I don't think she. Well, I don't think she told the truth. Anyway, I don't think either of them were telling the truth either. It was a bit like have you seen Goodbye Porpoise Spit? What is it? Muriel's Wedding. It was a bit like Muriel's Wedding. The Chinese restaurant saying Dorothy Chambers. What a coincidence! I just happened to turn up, Dorothy. Oh, my room for Dorothy. Oh, I just happened to be passing, Bill. mm, mm, mm. It's amazing how people forget when they're lying. It's amazing how quickly their veneers fall off, and it's not so much their behaviour with you; it's their behaviour with other people, or the people. So if let's just say if they're not working alone, it's their interact. it's their interactions with. Let's say if they're working in a group, it's their interactions with the rest of the group on the stage which play is taking place. So we'll give them away, because if the target behaves unpredictably, and one of the team needs to get a message to another member of the team which isn't in the code which they've pre-written, if you're going to do that, I'll talk about cricket. If you're going to do that, I'll talk about cocktails. But we didn't think you might do that. Oh God, what's that one? Water skiing. What's he off to now then? Dirty bastard. Have we got that filmed? Can we blackmail him with that? Can we? So, what should we touch on next? So, from somebody whose story was, oh, poor little me, my husband daft me up, didn't he? And I'm here with my little daughter. I don't know how much of it's true, but I'm going to have to go with the bit that stinks. Because when people lie, they tend to tell as much of the truth as possible and just alter that little bit so they don't forget. Because the mind does work like that. So, let's say the querent who I did the reading for must have thought, great, I'm in there. He's not, he'll be talking to me. We're going to be best friends, aren't we? Aren't we? I think we are. I see. I think. And as whenever anybody says that, you think, oh, no. It almost makes you want to just do a runner and change your number right there and then. If somebody goes, I like you, do you know that? I really like you. You make me very happy. Oh, there's a lovely cartoon. Gosh, what was it? I think it was Looney Tunes, where somebody picked one of the Looney Tunes characters. I will name him George, and I will hug him and kiss him and give him. What was that? Was it the space alien? Maybe that captain. Yeah, he's got that sort of medieval helmet on. I will call him George, and I will hug him and kiss him and rock him to sleep. A bit like that. Like, let me breathe. Get me the fuck out of here. Start the car. A bit like that. So the person who was in my dream is the main character. God, starring in your own movie now. You're not best supporting actress in somebody else's. So I had a very busy day. I actually didn't sleep. Just ploughed through. Then had a bit of a long sleep afterwards. That would be Thursday, wouldn't it? Anyway, whatever happened. Then Friday. Oh yes, Friday. The person in the dream had to go to their home because the lock was being changed on a broken door. So it was a bit fuzzy in the dream, but the broken door was a bit fuzzy. So they packed a couple of suitcases and took them to the hotel which they were staying at, or at which they were staying. Um, hmm. Oh, I should have kept a dream journal, shouldn't I? I must not do that. Well, this is it anyway. This is a verbal one. So, oh, that was. Oh, that's right. So then on Friday night, our little friend pops up again. Um, and they decide to do tarot through the night again. Now, on the basis that the querent lost a child when he was 9, the person who wants to go around the world fixing it one soul at a time, said, well, why don't we, if you're up for it, why don't we see if, if he's got a message for you. So they channeled the 9-year-old son, and she was very happy and a bit weepy at times about this lovely message that came through. It was a really beautiful moment in the dream. Yeah, I might even got a little bit moist down one side, but professionals do things professionally, don't they? Anyway, then what happened? Oh, then these two characters. I said, oh yes, they needed some fresh air because they couldn't. You can't open the windows. They tried. They couldn't open the windows in the hotel. That's right. Nailed past shut. You're not getting no fresh air through that room, like Miss Elder. You can try down as hard as you like. You're not getting no fresh air through that room. It's all going to come through that lovely machine. So they went out for a cigarette. That's why I think this must have been the Friday night going into the Saturday, because Friday night in this location is when disco devotees go out and give it some clog till whatever time, well, till Monday sometimes, but the days. And somebody came round the corner, a little bit worse for wear, but determined to get into the hotel. So they knew that there's a soft landing in that hotel. Maybe it's because the bar's open 24 hours. And eyes wide open, smelling like a dance floor. So anyway, so these people who would. Why don't you come up to the room? Don't sit in the hotel foyer. Come up to the room. We're doing some tarot cards. We'll put some music on. Blah blah blah. Charge your phone up. Chit chat. So they did. Now, I think it's called GHB, cheap drugs anyway. When you buy cheap, you buy twice. Gets unpredictable. Without telling the original two people in the story about it, the person who they were doing a favour to, about letting him charge his phone up, this guy obviously went to the loo, swigged a whole load of GHB, and just literally started rocking and sweating like a whore in church. And if anyone's seen that old Chinese it is about a sort of religious story. It's like monkey and pixie, monkey magic, and was it? Oh, he had a cloud. He used to go, and so whilst he was like zooming around and who zooming who, sweating like a whore in church, literally dripping off it. You go. Sounds like an Aboriginal without the someone's nicked his didgeridoo and haven't noticed yet. So, oh yes, person whose room it wasn't going to take any of this nonsense. Like, sit down, shut up, stop making that noise. Like, focus, because that's actually how you have to be with people on cheap drugs. So then the female, that's what she went out. She went out for a cigarette and never came back. That's right. So after 2 nights out of 3, this kind person, has done a long reading and then a very full-on one with a dead son coming through, guiding against that person and this person, and which, if it was, this person was told it was accurate at the time because there was no faking the reactions to the messages and the emotions involved. Oh gosh, I'll probably leave a bit out there. But you would think that's right, because there were a few glances when this GHB nutcase was sort of like crashing around into stuff. The original 2 said, "Oh gosh, what are we going to do about this?" And she went off for a cigarette and then left the person who'd just done 2 massive tarot card readings for it. She left him to deal with it by himself. Somebody who's prepared to, as a guest, go into somebody's bathroom who's doing them a favour, and then get completely wazzocked on cheap drugs and become a liability. Yeah. So she knows. So she was flaky. Gosh, then what happened? Yeah. So then, as the cheap drugs wore off, the new let's call him Pip. Pip got onto his mobile phone, onto the gay trawler website app, and must have been inviting people round, saying, "Oh, I've got a hotel room in XYZ. Why don't you pop over?" What a coincidence! Dorothy Chimes. But would actually, without them knowing, had actually said, "Well, you get both of us," and that was never even the basis of why that person was in the hotel room in the first place. Which, I mean, tacky. I mean, how tacky. So Pip went downstairs, came back and said, "Oh, I've met somebody. Oh, he's very cute. Da, 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 da." And I said, "Oh, well, yeah, see you then." "Oh, but okay." I said, "What, in my hotel room? Don't think so." That's what I said in the dream. And watched this person do all kinds of mental gymnastics because they realised they'd messed up and they hadn't got as far along in convincing the person whose room it was into falling into the trap just yet. And obviously the other person was on their way. So, I mean, if in doubt, just play for time and see what magically turns up to try and shift the energy. So that's right. It was about 3 times this person took way too much GHB. Ended up being, doing fish out of water impersonations on the carpet. And then almost like being tortured kind of a noise. And then the time he managed to straighten up again, and he went downstairs and outside to meet this guy. Let's call him Mo. Let's call him Mo. I mean, I don't like the name Pip. Let's call him. Let's call him Tony. I don't know, something like that. And so the person whose room it wasn't interested in either of them. I haven't invited either of you in. This was the thinking. I haven't invited either of you into my room on that basis. So, if you two want to sort of say your hellos and then, move it on down the street somewhere, anywhere but here, please. This I can blind out. Oh, hey, number one, what's your name? Where'd you come from? At least I've sort of helped with the introduction. I sort of, nested your meeting. But then what happened? Oh, Aunt there, Tony, went out for a cigarette, leaving his bags in the hotel room, and never came back, leaving a horny Mo with somebody who had plans. Yeah. So then what happened in the dream? So, in an effort to get rid of the horny Mo, who I'm just trying to think. I mean, whoever was the script writer in the dream did shooting, it was like, do that to me, or get on your knees and do that to me. And the person whose room it was doesn't take kindly to being told what to do. So, especially by somebody who they haven't chosen for themselves, who won't go out of a hotel room that they want to relax in. So yes, when vets have to release a certain fluid from dogs around about the waistline, because they've got. It's not a pagoda, is it? That thing. Is it a pergola? You goes up and won't come down. People had them in their gardens. There was a real rush of them a couple of years ago. They were trendy, weren't they? Pagola. What are we going to do with the pagola? It's June. It'll stop raining. Anyway, let's call it a pagola, whatever. So let's call it a pagola. But it didn't go up anyway. Like Needle Dick the bug fucker, in the dream, and Mo kept following around the person whose hotel room it was. Oh, show me this, do me that. No, just leave me the hell alone with you. Wouldn't. Timing is everything. And then thought, do you know what? It's been a while. Levels are low. May the sap rise early this year. And I think might have been overcome by a fit of passion and bad taste. Didn't want anything to do with the person, but thought, okay, well, I'll get off on the attention and just use what I've got around. They've got around them in the dream. So when they were moving bags from their apartment on the Friday, the happenstance was that they picked up the bag with do-it-yourself pleasurizers, let's put it that way. So thought, right, well, do you know what? I'll get that one old goggly-eyed over there, panting like a rolling around like a misguided poodle panting on the kitchen floor, and just sort myself out. but in a way that I know exactly what you're up to, because this doesn't seem like an accident that you two met and you did this. So he was just really putting the feelers out to see what the lay of the land was, because somebody could smell bullshit. And so the person who dreamed it, who was in whose hotel room it was, put on a bit of a show, or it turned out a bit of a show really for Mo, Louis' little mind. Oh, can we meet again? Can we meet again? Here's my number. Um, no, not really. But I'll take your number anyway, just in case I need the witness. Oh, that's right, because Mo apparently lived in the area where the hotel is situated, but then moved to, was it Sutton, with his wife. And later on, Mo said, "Oh, I've got to get back to Bermondsey to meet my boyfriend." Okay, so that's 3 different spots you've mentioned and 2 different partners. And just because it's all going to turn around in a moment. I will get to the end of this. So Tony had left the person whose room it was a phone number, and so Mo was worried that Tony wasn't coming back. So the person whose room it was said, "Well, call him then. Well, why don't you call him?" And then the person whose room it was, "Well, I've never called him. I don't know him at all. It was you two who met. And if you're worried about him, you made the call, because I'm not worried about him." And then realised that actually there were 2 bags sitting there, and there was a Bible that had been left on the bed, which was a bit creepy. And so the person whose room it was thought, "Hang on a minute, why would..." and then noticed some... As he passed the bag, one of the bags that Tony had brought that day, had seen an odd collection of things in there. So thought, well, what are we going to do with this bag? So tipped it out of the bed. There were letters from at least 6 different, or addressed to at least 6 different people there, and an application form for state benefits in a completely different name from the one he gave. There was a mobile, I think in the dream it was like a white one, yeah. And then a new card, SIM card package envelope. Those cardboard envelopes that it's like a trifold packet that when you need a new SIM card. Well, then it became quite obvious that Sir Tony had put in a completely new SIM card especially for the occasion. Because the packet was still in the bag, so he hadn't used it before. He'd used it just for that. Then so there was this Bible, which actually wasn't in the bag. It was left on the bed, which is... So if someone's going out clubbing on a load of furniture polish remover, or nail polish remover and bleach mix, whatever I don't know what GHB is, but and then abuse somebody's hospitality by overdosing on it 3 times, and then this, and then just disappear. There were a couple of other things in the bag that I probably shouldn't mention right now, because it would just ruin the flow of the dream. But there are a couple of eyebrow-raising items in the bag. So the person whose room it was used that as the excuse to get rid. He said, "Right, this is really freaking me out. Get your clothes on. We're both getting out of here now." And the other one would complain, "Oh, well, I don't think I can." Well, you're gonna have to. You got no choice. But wouldn't stop tapping on people's names on this gay dating app. Um, it was just it was obsessive. Tap 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 tap. Um, at this point on the bed was a T-shirt. It was a white T-shirt with like an aquamarine thick stripe going through it, and there was a brown stain in the armpit area. And the person whose room it was said to Mo, "Is this your T-shirt? Doesn't look like how you dress." He went, "God, no, it's not." And he went, "What's that on?" I don't know. So the person whose room it was left it quite obviously on the bed with a few bits and pieces. Oh, sorry, I've missed a bit. Now, whilst Tony went out for a drink with the original lady, lady, a female, and oh, that's right, he went out. Anyway, whatever. But at one point, he went out, and the person whose hotel room it was brushing their teeth and just sort of washing their face and stuff like that. Just a bit of non-nude bathroom time. All of a sudden, the door went. This person was, and Tony was letting himself in. He treated himself to a key card from reception. So somebody on reception had given a complete stranger this person's hotel room key. So how did Tony know the surname of the person whose room it was? There's no way he could find that out. No way. Absolutely no way. Because the person whose room it was knows damn well they haven't mentioned it at all. There's no reason to mention that in conversation to somebody who was off their tits on cheap drugs. There you go. So we don't like the fact that this hotel chain has got staff who will duplicate your key and give it to dance floor Debbie with big round sparkly pupils that you can do your hair in. That's going to be against, if not the law, against all kinds of company policy. Yeah. So anyway, that's that interesting little bit there. So from that point on, you know damn well that the room is compromised. The security in the room is compromised. Now, so the person whose room it is basically, by the scruff of the neck, pushes Mo downstairs and out the door. And said, "Right, bam." I said, "Right, how exactly did you two meet and got the information?" And then, "Well, that's not what I was told before." And then it was added that, "Oh, well, we met on there, but then we physically met XYZ, which is a bit of a surprise to the person whose room it was." And then, but he said that you two were together and that you were looking for. And you think, crikey. It's a funny old world, isn't it? Where you're not even allowed to choose your own dance partners, as it were. Now, before they left the room, the person whose room it was said to Mo, "Have you ever been filmed having sex without your knowledge?" And Mo went the colour of custard. Because I said, with all these phones around and people sort of boffing at every, drop their knickers at every time the phone goes ding. I said, yeah. I said, I can't imagine in the dream. I said, imagine what that would be like. But you see, what had happened was the person whose room it was has actually been filmed quite a lot by other people, by family and scrupulous friends for quite a number of years, who has actually got their head around it and actually thought, well, you know, in that period where like this person didn't know about it, then became aware of it, and then thought, well, you know, this is my home. If you want to watch, you're the sicko. But I shall be having a sex life in my flat. If you want to watch it, then you know, good luck to you. Maybe you learn something. Which is why they put a show on, because there's nothing that they wouldn't have seen all before. They'll have seen it all before anyway. So the person whose room it was actually offered nothing new to the world, because if anybody has been watching these videos months and years gone by, it was just a sort of a recap. Look what I can do with a pole. So now the woman who's in the hotel with the daughter bumped into somebody from Ireland. Oh gosh, are you from Ireland? Oh, such a nice person, and gave needed directions to a shop. And it looked to this person whose room it was as though the woman slipped him something into his hand outside the hotel. So, I mean, that could have been, I mean, to a complete stranger that you have never clapped eyes on before in my life. So it begs the question, what did she hand over to him anyway, in the dream? And, oh yes, so once the person whose room it was had found out from Mo a few more bits and pieces, but Mo wouldn't get off his phone, and it irritated the person who, because the person whose room it was actually felt quite threatened for safety in the hotel room, which was supposed to be proving a sanctuary away from the home where he couldn't live because of threats there. So it was like, oh God, and he put in a storm. So they just didn't say anything at all. Just walked and carried on walking in a certain direction. And Mo was supposed to be going back to Bermondsey to meet his partner. But the person whose room it was sort of took a little sidestep and waited in a doorway. And Mo had obviously turned around and gone to follow the person whose room it was, but couldn't see that they'd actually got a little hidey hole. And so, you know, a respectable distance between them, the person whose room it was started following Mo. He was looking for the person whose room it was. And this was all set just by the American embassy, I think. It might have been London. So Mo didn't go back to Bermondsey at all. It looked wrong. The person whose room it was followed them as far as like where there's a whole load of nightclubs that go on sort of all day and all night. That's because of something. That's where they sort of lost eye contact. No eye contact. Visual. Lost me visuals, but I could be speaking. And so I thought, well, to have a little trot around, walk a bit further, walk a bit back, just give it a bit of time. But then, like in these sort of spy movies, you know, they have these FBI agents with the leaf blowers who've obviously never done any gardening. Yeah. And there was just too many people doing too many weird things, and the energy was wrong, and people looking in the wrong direction for what they were supposed to be doing. You know, what that legend was supposed to do for the day. So the person whose room it was thought, you know, I'm going to speak everything that's happened into my phone. So if anyone's got my phone tapped, then they're more likely to get a hold of it rather than actually. So it was a bit of a memory aid as well, because I thought I better talk this into the phone whilst it's fresh. Because sometimes there's smaller details, but you know, I wouldn't have normally mentioned that, but actually it proved to be one of the most significant things. So the person whose room was did that. And then saw some other weird people on bicycles and roller skates who just kept circling around and around and around. And once they'd sort of got enough of the story out, they thought, okay, up with this I will no longer put. And got on a bus to, well, let's just call it St Thomas's Hospital. Good old St Thomas. I had to go to A&E because she was feeling really rotten, and could hardly walk on the right ankle. Was it the right ankle? Left, right? Yeah, I think it was the right ankle. Because it felt as though somebody had taken a baseball bat to their heel, and it's gone woof. And so every time you put the foot down, woof, it was like, not nice. So this person whose room it was in the ER room from probably lunchtime till I think it was about 7 p.m. But they felt happy and comfortable. I mean, even though they were feeling like, dirt dragged up, they knew everything that they'd done that day would be on CCTV. Because in the dream, it felt like this person was trying. There were hooks all over the place to try and ensnare them into being humiliated for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they've got a history of anger. Well, only because somebody said so, and they hadn't actually verified their own identification before they made that comment. He's got a history of setting booby traps. Oh yes, paranoid schizophrenic as well. Anything can set them off. You've got to be careful of that. I think the person whose roommate was spent 2.5 years trying to clean up all the flotsam and jetsam about them, which are complete lies, to clear their reputation, which has been besmirched most unfairly and hideously inaccurately, and just beyond decency. Really. And then what happened? Oh, that's right. There were a couple of text messages from the woman. I'm not feeling so well today, it's my ankle. And so I had during the day sent a message to the person whose room it was that, I'm really low on my money. Can I borrow some of your money? I want to spend your money. I'll say right now, I'll try and give it back, but I can't promise nothing. And the person whose room it is actually watching their pennies quite closely too. They said no. I'm going to post this and camera on the rest of it later. What a doozy of a dream. It was also lifelike as well. Anywho.